I'd like to welcome everyone this evening. And this is session 101, correct, for technology?
Yes.
Can everyone hear me? Okay, I just want to be sure. Okay, I want to make sure that everyone that's come on, parents, that if you have a child in one of the schools, please sign your name and your child's name in the chat section in the school that they attend. Just one child, okay? And once again, I want to welcome everyone for this session. I'm looking forward to it because I can always use a lot of extra help. Okay, if you have any question, please hit the raise your hand button or write your question in the chat box. Make sure you're muted so that we all won't be getting feedback from one another. And Rachel, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Rachel Carter. I'm a tech integration specialist. I work for Tiffany Chella, and I work with Andrea Lewinsky.
I'm Andrea Lewinsky. I work for Tiffany in the Technology Integration Office.
Okay, and I should introduce myself. My name is Lynette Frost. I am a parent engagement coordinator over at Cheney High School. Okay, and parents, all those that are attending, there will be a survey at the end of this session, and we would like for you all to fill out the survey before you leave the site. Okay, it's in your hand.
So if under YCSD.org, if you go to for parents, there's the parent you, and then there's the January 20th, which has all of the information for today. If you scroll down, here's Technology 101. Right here in yellow, it says Tech 101 Sessions website. So all of the information that we're going over today, in addition to the recording for the session, is going to be here. You can see that we're on the homepage right here, and you can navigate either over here, or you can go ahead and click on each part. You can see this is what we're going to be covering. Andrea is going to start with how to create an email account, and we're just going to go all the way through. This is where we're going to have the session 1 Zoom recording. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and let Andrea go ahead and share.
For those that don't have an email account and need to create one in order to see your child's assignments, if you're not using their email or you need your own email, we decided to do Google since it's free. So you would go on the browser and click google.com. You would then click.
Sorry, the Google Chrome browser, right?
Thank you. The Google Chrome browser. You would then click sign in. When you click sign in, it gives you a choice to sign in for your account, or down at the bottom here, it says create an account. So you would click create an account. You would fill out all the information they ask you. They ask you for your first name, your last name, a username that you can remember, and don't forget to write it down so you don't forget it. And then you choose your password, and it has to have 8 characters that includes numbers, letters, and some kind of symbol. So make sure you write that down as well. It asks you to put your phone number in case it has to do a system recovery, and it needs to recover your phone number and give you a chance to go ahead and log in. And sometimes it asks for a verification to make sure that is you.
Or
for
if
safety
you're like
reasons.
me and you forget your password.
Right, or if you forget passwords, because that happens. You have to go ahead and read through and accept their terms, and there's several parts to it. Once you sign in and it accepts everything, it'll have your initials for your account up on the top right, which is why it's important to write down your username, because it just pops you right in. So when you go to check your email from the Chrome browser, and you're typed in google.com, you click sign in, you type in your username, whatever it is. You type in your password. If you need to see it, you can check off the little box down below that says show password. You click next, and you click on the part that says Gmail. Gmail is the name of the email system. Once you click on that, it'll list everything in your inbox. So this was an example of my inbox. Notice if it's in bold, those are invitations or emails that I did not open. If it's in less of a bold, then those are emails that I've already opened. So it distinguishes between the two. When you need to reply to an email, you click on the box or the line that you need the email. It'll open it. On the top right, there's a curved arrow. You click on it to reply, and it may say just reply or reply all, depending on how many people sent it to you or it's going to.
Generally,
Once you,
a rule of thumb, you're going to want to reply just to the person that sent it to you. If you hit reply all, it'll send it to everyone. Unless you need to speak to everyone, usually we just use reply.
right, but the default is reply all. So I didn't put that on there, so we'll have to fix that. Go ahead and then you type in your sample email, whatever you're going to, whatever message you're going to type. And down at the bottom, it'll say reply. So once you type what you need to, you go ahead and hit reply.
No, that's just another way. There's the top
Oh,
arrow
nope, I'm sorry, you're right.
or that one. Either way, we'll reply.
So there's 2 replies. Right, thank you, Rachel, sorry. I'm got ahead of myself. So go ahead and type in your message, and then you click the send button. There's also an arrow off to the right where it schedules it, so you can schedule it to send it at a different time. So if you don't want to send that right away and you want it to reach someone at a specific time, you go ahead and click on that arrow. You decide on the time and date you want it to be sent. Once you choose that, then you schedule the send button, and it'll go ahead and send it at that time. Okay, so that's the Gmail. Rachel, did I forget anything that you didn't already include?
I don't think so. And again, it doesn't have to be Gmail. We were just choosing that because a lot of the kids have Chromebooks. We have Google Chrome on all of the student devices. So if you need an account, say for Social Security or for a job application or for anything else, it's definitely a great way to have a free account that you would be able to access it. I know I have an Android. Andrea has an iPhone. It's easy to get the Gmail app on either one of those. So we just thought that that would be hopefully a useful thing. And we're going to go into more tips and tricks in future sessions. Are there
Plus,
any?
it's pretty easy to use.
Yeah. Are there any questions about Gmail before we move on?
So our next one is ProgressBook. And this is where you're going to be able to check your scholars' grades, missing assignments. So go ahead and you would type in your browser, the YCSD.org site. You would click on for parents and the login. Under the login, you're going to click login link for ProgressBook. My pictures are in the way. Hold on 1 second. Let me move this. Okay. There's going to be a part, that says to sign up or sign in. So if you already have an account, you click sign in. If you need to sign up, then you click the sign up portion of it. Of course. Okay. So when you click sign in or sign up, when you click sign up, it's going to ask you to either one, if you already have an account and you need to link another student or scholar to it, or that you are a parent and creating a brand new account. So for this one, we picked I am a parent to start a new account. You go ahead and fill in all the necessary information. When it asked for Your email, make sure that would be the one you just created or a different one. When it asks for your username and password, it wants you to create a username and password. So make sure, again, you write those down so you don't forget. They may or may not be the same as what you already have for an email.
I would
The
definitely recommend not to have the same password.
Right, I was just going to say that. It's not a good idea to have them the same. You can have them similar, but don't do them the same. When it asks for registration key, you're going to have to get that from your scholar's teacher and or administrative staff. Unless there's someone on here tonight that we need a specific one, we could do that for you. But you need that registration key from the school for your scholar, and each scholar has their own registration key. You would put your scholar's name exactly how they have it for school. So if there's an accent mark, if there's a hyphen, it needs to be exact. If it's not, then it doesn't play nice and it doesn't allow you to log in the system. It asks for your scholar's date of birth as well. And then once you have all that, I don't know what is going on tonight. Once you have all of that, then you can go ahead and click register. Again, that's a reminder that you have to have your students, your scholar's name exactly as it is, accent marks, hyphens, whatever additional things your scholar's name might have. It'll come up, an error has occurred if it won't accept it. Feel free to contact your school's guidance counselor. They may be able to help you, and the your scholar's teacher, or you can contact us at the oh my goodness, in our department.
The tech administration.
Thank you. Just double check your registration code before you go through it as well, because sometimes there's a 0 or an O that can be misdrewed, or sometimes you just forget a letter or a number. When you're finished and you created your account, you go ahead and click sign in. It'll bring you right back to this. Notice student sign in is right below with Google. So that's how your scholar is going to sign in. You sign in through this sign in button, the green one. Once you do that, it'll take you to your scholar's page. So again, you would go to the YCSD.
Yeah, like starting over if you were starting from the beginning.
Right, thank you. So you would go to the YCSD if you're starting over, like, you know, you already created an account, you're coming back to it. You go to logins. Once you log in, this is what you're going to see. So notice everything in this left-hand column is what you're going to want to pay attention to. So it's going to automatically default to this page where it's going to link all your scholars' grades immediately. It's going to have further events. You can change your views by clicking each class, the calendar. When you go ahead and click each class for the grades, it'll bring up the entire grade book for that scholar's class, and it'll click on all the assignments of what they've turned in, what they haven't turned in. It'll show the last grade of a specific date. So you'll know how quickly that teacher has updated their grade book, how current it is. Some teachers do it once a week, others do it every day. So it just depends on that particular class and that particular teacher. The student profiles based on whatever the district has for settings. Oops. It'll let you choose from scholar to scholar. So it'll let you toggle back and forth from scholar to scholar. So you don't have to re-sign out of your account every time you want to log into a new scholar's. It'll show them the number of assignments that are still due within the next 2 days or are due in the next 2 days. It'll let you change your counter settings if necessary. And then of course, when you're finished, you're going to click sign out of ProgressBook. So if there's
talk about attendance.
Thank you. That is very important. So the attendance, it'll also show you on here on the left,
Bottom right.
the bottom. Oh, I have that covered up. That's why. It'll show right on the bottom right, and then also it'll be up here on your in the left-hand column. So you can get to it both ways. And please make sure you pay attention to the excused and unexcused absences. And if they're not excused, you're going to want to get those excuses in. So your child is not unexcused for whatever reason, especially a doctor's note. And I don't remember what it is, the number of excused days that are allowable. I don't know what is changed on that. So you're going to want to check into that as well. Okay, Rachel, did I miss anything on this?
I don't believe so.
Okay. That is ProgressBook. The students have a different view. So they're going to log in under the YCSD account. They can log in either for parents or for students. It makes no difference. They're going to click logins, and no matter what, they're going to click ProgressBook. Again, they're going to click on students sign in with Google, and theirs will come up. And here's a sample of what theirs looks like. And again, they have choices, just not as many as you do. It'll show all their assignments. It'll click on the online activity to show what's, how long the teacher's been there. It'll have the teacher's email if they have a question about the assignment. They'll have a homework assignments under each heading, so they know what's been turned in or not turned in. They can also check their schedules, their grades, again, their attendance. Some of them may have alerts, class information. Their calendar will be where the assignments are due. So it'll show that, and it'll automatically default onto their calendars too for Progress or for Google. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Again, it's the same information. It's just
In a different format.
More than the scholars can, and then you can switch between if you have multiple scholars.
So Google Classroom is the program that all the teachers in the district are using to put their assignments on for when we're remote, and many use it when we're not remote. So Google Classroom. The students, if they have an iPad, they're going to click on the app, and then they're going to click their correct class. If they don't have an iPad and they're using the Chromebooks, then they're going to click on Google Chrome. They're automatically going to be already logged into their Google, and they'll see their picture, their icon in the top right corner. They're going to click the little waffle. The waffle is going to then expand and show them other applications under Google to use. They then click on Google Classroom. It'll come up something similar to this, and it'll allow them to pick their class. So they can go ahead and click on their class. So when Google Classroom comes up at the top, when they have their name for that particular class, they'll see a line that says stream, classwork, and people. The stream, go ahead.
I want to point out that this says iPad and it's at the bottom.
Thank you. Thank you. It'll be at the bottom for iPad and for the Chromebook at the top. So the iPad are for our littles from pre-K, K, and 1.
Unless
so
they're
again,
in early college.
And Ray and early college, I forgot about them. Okay, so this stream has the announcements for the reminders. The classwork are where the assignments are, the quizzes, the videos, and the people are whoever is in their class and the teacher. Okay. For the Chromebook, it's just a little smaller and all at the top. Again, it's the same thing, the stream, the classwork, and the people. When they're in Google Classroom and they need to find their assignments, they're going to click on classwork. Once they're in classwork, the teacher usually has the assignments listed in order. usually not, it just depends on the teacher, but most do. So they'll have, it'll say the class in the top left. It'll have on all topics, most teachers do units or chapters, however they organize their assignments, depending on the teacher. You'll click view work and it'll show the students' assignments and their classwork listed. It'll have a Google Calendar where the due dates are already posted for the scholars, and it all intertwines in the classroom, the Google Calendar where you can get elsewhere too. And the scholar class drive is in the scholars drive, and that's where all their assignments are housed.
I am going to say, and again, this is from my background working in elementary. Most elementary kids aren't going to need to go into that Google Drive folder. All of their assignments they can find under classwork. Google Calendar is more like for, I would say, middle school and high school, where they're actually keeping track of their assignments and when they're due. Just throwing that out there.
Good point. Okay. And this is more geared more towards the students with iPads. So if they have to turn in an assignment and it asks for a picture of it.
For
Then-
example, in like a preschool, kindergarten, first grade, they might have, when we were on remote instruction, they might have them writing out spelling words on a piece of paper. And then they want the scholar to take a picture of it, or, you know, draw a picture, take a picture of it. Just an example of why they might be.
Right, to verify that they are participating in it. So you would click on whatever the assignment is in the middle, and whatever day, usually it's dated.
Can you go back a slide, please?
I don't have,
No, go forward one. Wait,
thank you. Is
wait.
that what you want?
You're too far. Back. Back. Back.
Teresa, this is all I have. I have 4 slides here.
I know, but I'm saying like to go back to where you were talking about taking a picture, which was
Oh,
before.
okay. Gotcha. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
One
sorry.
forward.
Okay, thank you. I clicked ahead too far. My goodness. Sorry about that. So to turn in a Google assignment for the iPad, if it asks your student whatever it is that they need them to take a picture for on the iPad, down at the very bottom of their assignment is an arrow, and it's really faint on this, but it's an up arrow. So they're going to click it. They're going to then, once they click the camera, they're going to click use this photo.
First, they click add attachment.
Or they're going to add the attachment. I'm sorry. They're going to click the camera, use the photo, and once they have it all ready, they're going to click mark as done. Okay. All right. For the older ones or the other students that don't need a picture for your regular assignment, you're going to click on the assignment. You're going to then click on view assignment down at the bottom. They might have 1 or 2 things here. They might have 5 things depending on the assignment and the teacher. And I'm thinking the grade level. So you click on view assignment. It'll bring up everything that's attached to that particular assignment. Like I said, there may be, in this assignment, there's 4 things because this is for a middle school. You need your scholar to go through all their resources, fill in any documents that they need to document, any documents they need to fill in, any assignments they need to complete. They need to go ahead and do that so they can go back and forth and click on each and every one of them. When they're complete, it won't turn them in for you. The teacher won't know it's turned in until they click the mark is done. Once they click the mark is done, Then the teacher knows that that assignment is no longer missing. Like, for example, this one says missing. Once they do that, they can also send their teacher a private message if they need to, like, I'm finished or whatever, I didn't understand this, whatever they need to explain, if they need to explain something. So they go ahead and click mark is done. And why isn't it clicking to my next slide?
I don't know the- So just to let you know, some assignments you mark as done, and other assignments it'll say turn in. So either way, usually you click it and then it'll have a little pop-up and it'll say, do you really want to mark this as done? And then you click yes. Or do you really want to turn this in? And then you'll click yes.
And we do have those slides. I guess it didn't get added to this particular one,
Okay.
but I do, it's there. I do have
Okay.
those slides.
Okay. Are there any questions about ProgressBook or Google Classroom before we move forward? So I'm going to talk about Remind. So Remind is an app that we have program for to facilitate communication between parents and teachers, and between teachers and scholars if they are older. So in order to receive messages in Remind, you have to sign up. You will get an email if you have an email registered with your scholars school. You'll get an email and you'll automatically be signed up for an account. You just have to respond to the email. If you can't find that email or you want to use a different email address or whatever, that's fine. You can choose to receive the Remind messages either as emails, as text messages, or as messages within the Remind app on your phone or tablet. You don't have to have the app, but if you want to use it on your phone, you can use it as like an SMS text message or as an email. A few things that are important about Remind. They don't, like if your teacher is messaging you on Remind, they don't have your cell phone number or anything like that. You're just going back and forth on Remind. And all messages are saved. That's an educational requirement, so that just for safety of parents and scholars. In order to sign up for Remind, if you're the primary contact for your scholar, like the main caregiver, there is a link that would be on the website, or you can just type into Google, sign up for Remind. You have the option to type in your cell phone number, or you can sign up with your email address. You're going to open the download link. Actually, if you click this, it'll ask for your cell phone number. It'll text you a link. You're going to click install. You're going to open the Remind app. So it'll recognize by your cell phone number whether you have an Android phone or an iPhone, and it'll send you to the right app store. It'll install it. You'll open the Remind app. You'll enter your email address or phone number, whichever one is on file with the school, and then you'll create a password. If you're not the primary contact, so say like if you're an aunt that helps out, you're a grandparent that's an additional caregiver, you can go ahead and sign up for Remind, and you can sign up for text messages. You would just text your scholar's class code with the @ to the phone number 81010. And you can get the code from your scholar's teacher or from any other parent, or probably your parent engagement coordinator. And you must do this for every class that you want to be connected to. If you have an elementary scholar who has one teacher for every single, like for math and English and science, and so you're not going to want to sign up to that 4 times because that's the one teacher. If you have a middle school or high school scholar, you're probably going to want to sign up to each class because then they're usually different teachers. And then you have the ability to reply to any of the text messages that you receive from that teacher. Oh, thank you so much, Lynette. I just saw the chat. Installing the Remind app. Again, that's optional. So here is another way to sign up for the app. Otherwise, if you just sign up with email or you sign up with your cell phone, you have the option for when you sign up, how you want to receive your messages. And again, this is just more information about signing up. So once you have signed up and you have an account, this is how you would set your Remind notifications. You want to allow replies to your messages. So if you send a message to your parent engagement coordinator or your child's teacher and you want a message back, you're going to want to go in there. Under message options, you're going to want to make sure that you click allow replies to your messages. It's right here. If you want it, like if you have it on your computer and you want notifications on your computer, you can do that here. Or if you prefer to receive phone calls through Remind, that way you can call the teacher or they can call you and they're not using your actual phone numbers. You have that option. So on a computer, you would go to Remind and then log in. If it's a scholar that's doing it to get their messages, they're going to go through Clever and click on the Remind app. You're going to click on your name in the upper left corner. This example says Mrs. Martin. You're going to choose account settings, and then you're going to select notification preferences, and you're going to set like, okay, this person, they want to get emails, but they don't want to get text messages on their phone. So you can decide, do you want to get it through email? Do you want to get it through text? Do you want to get it on your computer? Et cetera, et cetera. However, whatever your options are, you can decide and you can control how you get your messages. So these are basically the same exact steps on an iPhone. What you would do step by step by step to set up your notifications. And if you have an Android phone, these are the steps that you would take. So are there any questions? On an Android, there's a few extra things, just extra steps here that when you download the app, they're going to ask you about. The push notifications are automatically turned on. So if you don't want them on, you're going to have to go into your settings and disable them. So let you know that. If you guys have any questions, you can pop into the chat at any point. Adding a preferred language to your Remind account. In general, the default is English. If that's fine with you, that's fine. Otherwise, on a computer, you're going to log into your Remind account, click on your name located in the upper left. You're going to select those account settings again. And then on the profile page, you're going to scroll down to where it says preferred language and click on the drop down and select your preferred language. Then you select save. So if my preferred language was for Spanish, I would set it as Spanish and click save. And then even if my scholar's teacher sends me messages in English, they will come to me in Remind in Spanish. It will automatically translate for me. These are just the steps on an iPad. You can see, you can choose through all these languages. On an Android. So this is what this looks like. Again, depending on what you have and what you're planning on using, just so you know that that's an option. And you can go ahead and send messages to your scholar's teacher in your preferred language. So if my native language was Chinese, I would go ahead and type it in Chinese. And it's very quick and easy for the teacher to just click a button and have it automatically translated into English so that they can understand it. Sending and receiving text messages with Remind. So messages will come from a different phone number for each teacher. That doesn't mean that that's the teacher's cell phone number. It's just the number that Remind uses to represent them. So their example is Miss Smith would come from this, all 5s, and Mr. Jones would come from all 8s. that's not necessarily true. They're randomly assigned, but you can go ahead and add them as contacts in your phone if that helps you to keep straight who's messaging you if you choose to go the text message route. If you are using the Remind app, I know it will specifically state who, again, this is just telling you how to save the contact information. You would go ahead and click and save the contact information. If you're using the Remind app itself, it very specifically says who sent which message, and you can go ahead and click on it and then just reply back and forth to that person. And then you'll only be able to reply to a text message if the teacher or administrator has two-way messaging enabled. So if there is something at the bottom that says, you know, that someone doesn't have it enabled, you can go ahead and let them know. Generally, I believe that they do. If they don't have it enabled, they probably don't know that they don't have it enabled. So I'm sure that they would love to hear from you. So if you would just let them know. If you decide that you don't want to be a part of that Remind message thread anymore, like say that this was for biology and instead that your scholar went to advanced biology, so they're not in that class anymore. They have the option, you just would put the message at leave and then the class code, and it will leave that class, but stay in all the teacher's other classes. You can just text at the bottom at leave to leave that conversation. Or you can do at leave to leave all classes owned by that teacher. You can at leave and then the school code if say that they move from Kirkmere to Volney. You would go ahead and leave that school and then join the other school. I do think that if you're moving within the district, generally they'll take care of that for you. But if you're still getting messages that you don't want, you can always also text at stop to 81010 to block all texts from Remind. Just to let you know that if you do that, like I know, for example, there was a grandmother that had custody of her grandson for a period of time. And then he went back to live with his mother. And then so she had done at stop. And then she ended up having custody of him again. She had to go in and into her settings and open that back up. So just to let you know, it's a possibility. If you feel like you're getting too many messages, you can go ahead and do that. You do have the option to share a photo or a file in Remind. Again, teachers can share those with you. But you could also, there's ways that you could do that if you wanted to. Say, for example, we were on remote instruction before, and if there was parents that were using their phones to take pictures of their scholars' work and they didn't understand how to turn it in Google Classroom, they could always take the picture and then upload it through Remind to their scholars' teacher. So again, if you're using a computer, it's going to show you that you can click new message and then select who you want to send it to, and then you're going to click on the paper clip, and then you're going to choose your file, what you want to do, if it's like a PDF, if it's a picture or whatever. I see my pictures aren't working, my GIFs aren't working. So these are the directions for the iPhone or iPad. There is a GIF that's supposed to be here that is not working right now, so I will fix that. And the same thing for the Android. And we don't mean to be repetitive, but we just want to be helpful. We just want to be helpful for whatever technology or devices you're using. Were there any questions about Remind? Okay, so I'm going to go on to Paper. That is a new program that scholars can use for help with their schoolwork. I believe it's 5th grade and up, although I'm not sure if Miss Trella is still on. I know there's a Paper Junior that's for certain grades.
It's for middle school.
It's for middle school. Okay. Okay, so the first thing that they're going to do is they're going to log into Clever. So scholars are going to need to log into Clever. If they have an iPad, they're going to go ahead and find the app icon that looks like this. Generally, a lot of them have a QR code that they use. Otherwise, they're going to click log in with Google. Other scholars, they have an extension. If they have a Chromebook, they have an extension. Also, if they open their Google Chrome, the tech guys have set it up that their Chromebooks open. So it opens to YCSD.org. The next page, I believe, is Google Classroom. The third page is Clever, and the fourth page is their Gmail. So it will automatically be there. It will be the third tab. They just go ahead and log in there, log in with Google always, and then they're going to click on the paper icon. So once they're in there, they will have the option to ask a tutor a question. So that would be like if they're working on their schoolwork and they needed help with something, they can go ahead and click to ask a tutor a question. They could do a live chat session. This is going to be text only. And that's for the safety of the scholars, which is why I believe it's 13 and up. So they're going to be writing and reading messages back and forth. They cannot send each other any pictures or anything, any inappropriateness. It's basically for them to say, okay, I have a math problem and it's 3x plus 2 equals y. What do I do? And then the scholar will go back, or the tutor will go back and forth with them and help them to do their homework. And that is 24/7. So at any point, if they have an issue with their schoolwork, a question, or anything like that, if they have written work that they want to be proofread or reviewed to help improve their writing, they easily can go into Clever, click on the paper icon, and go ahead and have a session with a tutor. Now for the fun part, Zoom, which we're already on. So the first part we have is talking about downloading or installing the Zoom program or app. So if you have a laptop or a computer, you would click on any Zoom link. And then you see this is where you would launch the meeting, but instead you're going to click download now. And then you're going to click keep. And then you're going to double click on the program that loads and it will install it for you. It just, once it's installed to your laptop or your computer, it runs more smoothly. Installing the Zoom app, if you have an iOS or an Android, you're going to go to the appropriate, either the App Store or the Play Store, and you're going to search for Zoom. You're going to click install to install it, and then you're going to go ahead and open it. And this is just very important to let you know, if you're using a phone or a tablet to connect to Zoom, you need to have the program installed. Otherwise, you're just going to hear phone audio through your phone. You're not going to be able to see anyone. They're not going to be able to see you. You have to have the app. So it's best to start that way and just have it on your phone. You can always have it there and then remove it, if you don't have a lot of space on your phone or your tablet. But just to know that that's important. Logging into Zoom with Google. So I know we were just remote for the second time. A lot of the middle school and older scholars, perhaps some younger, I'm not sure, their teachers are requiring authentication for them to join the Zoom meetings, which basically just means they log in with Google so that when they come in, it says who they are. That way, if not, and I'm a middle school kid, I could go ahead and change my name from Rachel Carter to something completely inappropriate. And then the teacher won't know who I am. It'll just say something naughty when I come in. So it's for everyone's best interest that they're doing this, and it's very easy to do it. So we were just sharing it with you guys in case you need to help your scholar at any point. So basically, scholars either have an iPad or a Chromebook. On an iPad, they're going to open the Zoom app, they're going to click sign in, and then they're going to click sign in with Google. In a moment, you will see the picture that goes with it. So basically, they click on the Zoom app. Down here, it says sign in, and then they just click sign in with Google. Generally, they would click on the Zoom link in the Google Classroom. It would take them here. And then if they get confused, you just remind them, click sign in with Google. On a Chromebook, It's the exact same thing. They would click on the Zoom link. It would take them to where it says sign in, and then they just have to click sign in with Google, and it takes them straight into the Zoom. So joining a Zoom meeting, again, making sure you have it downloaded the app if you're on your phone. You're just going to click on the Zoom link and it'll either open up and you'll go straight in if there's no waiting room. Otherwise, you'll be in the waiting room until the host lets you in, which I'm sure you're familiar with if you attended tonight. Leaving a Zoom meeting, it depends on what you have. If you're on a Chromebook, a laptop, or a computer, it's going to say leave in red on the bottom right. So you'll click that and then it'll pop up like a little pop-up warning, and then you'll click leave meeting. On iOS, which would be an iPad or an iPhone, it will be on the top left, will be that red leave button. On an Android, it's on the top right. Zoom controls, basically they're the same, they're just in different places. On the left is the unmute and mute, starting and stopping your video. You can click on the participants and see who all is present in the Zoom meeting. Definitely click on the chat and go ahead and chat with people. Sharing your screen. Recording is generally going to be for a teacher or a host. And then reactions, they can choose a cute little emoji or to let people know that you need a break, for example. And then there's that leave button. Again, on a computer, a Chromebook, or a laptop, they're all going to be on the bottom, looking like that. On iOS, which is going to be an iPhone or an iPad, it's going to be at the top. And so here's this picture here from an iPad where you can see leave is in the top left. Here are your options. If you click those three dots for more, you have your chat, and there's your little emojis that you can, emoji reactions. And Android is different because your leave is at the top, and then all of your other controls are at the bottom. And again, you also have those three dots with more. Joining or leaving a breakout room, which you did. Generally for scholars, it's going to be that they're assigned, so it'll just pop up and then they'll just click join. If it's something like today for adults, you had would be on an iPad, you would click join breakout room, or click on it on your laptop and you choose which room you want to go into, and then you go ahead and click join. I know the first meeting I went to that it was like that. I was like, what do I do? If you want to leave the breakout room, you see that it's blue instead of red. So again, on the iOS, the iPad, or the iPhone, it's going to be on the top left. On a computer, a Chromebook, a laptop, it's going to be on the bottom right. You're going to click that blue leave, and then you're going to click the leave breakout room. And then that will move you back to the main Zoom. If you click leave meeting, it will take you out of the Zoom entirely. Zoom screen share. On occasion, scholars need to do this in case we're on remote instruction. So on an iPhone, an iPad, it's on the top. It's the green share content. And then they're going to choose screen. They make sure that Zoom is the thing that is chosen. And then they're going to go ahead and click start broadcast. Then on the iPad or the iPhone, you're going to click the home button twice, and it will take you back to the home screen, and you can choose whatever app or whatever thing that you are going to share on your screen. And then when you're done, you'll go back to Zoom and you'll click the red stop share. On a computer, again, it's going to be on the bottom. It's going to be that green share screen. You're going to choose the option on the top left. On a laptop, it's going to say screen. On a Chromebook, it's going to say desktop. And then you're going to click share. And then when you're done, you'll see at the very top, it will say stop share. You just click on that and it will stop sharing. On an Android, you click it on the bottom where it says share. You have to scroll a while and click on screen. Then it's almost like you're Chromecasting, and you click start now. And it might make you turn on the setting to allow Zoom to display over other apps. And then again, you're going to share your screen as you need to. And when you're done, go back to Zoom and click stop share. Zoom screen annotation is something that only works on iPads. Unfortunately, it does not work for Chromebooks at this time. So especially in the primary grades, preschool K and 1, if they're in a Zoom, the teacher might want the scholar to annotate on the teacher's screen. So when that option is available, there's a little pin icon on the bottom left that you would click on. You see that there's options. You can put shapes on there. You could type with text. You can change the color, change it from a pen to a highlighter. And you can see that you can go ahead and write on the teacher's screen. And then the teacher has like control to like turn the annotation on and off. There is another thing called remote control, which would let the scholar, again, only on an iPad. It's like, it looks like a little mouse down there, and then they click on it and then they can move. Like say if the teacher has drag and drop activity, that the kids could do that. Again, just trying to cover things in case they come up in the future. Kind of the last thing that we wanted to cover, well, we actually also want to talk to you guys for a minute before we're done. But in February on the 17th, we're going to have parent-teacher conferences. And again, I don't know if they're going to be in person or virtual, but I just wanted to include directions for how to sign up for Zoom parent-teacher conferences in case they are virtual this year due to COVID, because by the time we meet again on the 24th of February, it will be too late. So your Scholars teacher is going to be sending you a link for you to be able to sign up, assuming that there are virtual conferences. So we recommend that you use your Scholars device unless you have a Gmail account of your own, because it needs to be Gmail to work with the Google Calendar. So again, using your Scholars device, you would be logged in as the scholar. You click on the link from your Scholars teacher. I did include an example here. It looks just like this. You can see that, you know, this is January, and it's looking ahead to February. There's nothing here for me to click on. I would click to look for appointment slots further ahead, and then it takes me to the next appointment slots. And then you make sure the calendar is on the appropriate date. You would click on the time that you want, and then it's going to pop up like this. Your scholar's name is going to be right here. The Zoom link's going to be there. You just click save. And then the time and Zoom link are going to be saved to your scholar's Google Calendar. So literally, it's just you open it, you find the one you want, you click save. Then the day of the conference, if your scholar has an iPad, you're going to go ahead and click on the Google Calendar app, open it. You're going to go to the correct date for conferences. You're going to find the little link in the calendar, click on it, and it will have the Zoom meeting link right there. You click on it, it'll open right up on the iPad. You can have the meeting with your teachers, your Scholars teachers, and it should be very easy. If your scholar has a Chromebook, again, making sure that you're using their device logged in as the scholar, you would open up Google Chrome, open a new tab, click on the Google waffle, and then choose their calendar. I'm sure that your scholar would be able to help you with that. And then you would go to the correct date. Again, it's going to be right there. Once you click on it, it's going to pop open, and you're going to have the Zoom link right there, ready and waiting for you to attend the parent-teacher conferences. Again, I do not know the future. I am not saying that it's going to be virtual parent-teacher conferences. I know that we had them that way earlier in the year. I'm just sharing that information in case it's helpful for the future. So we just kind of wanted to ask you guys, is there anything in particular that you guys would like to learn between now and May that we can teach you? If not, you could think on it and put it in the survey. We do want to include things that are helpful for your scholars, but also things that are helpful for yourself. Like we're going to be teaching how to navigate Google Chrome and how to search for certain things. So just to know the difference between like what's an advertisement, what's a real site, you know, how to how to search in a smart way to find what you want. But if there's, and we're going to try to include some fun stuff too. But if there's anything in particular you think of, just let us know. Otherwise, I think we're done, unless someone thought of something. Okay.
Celia, I think, has a question. Can you unmute? Can you unmute? Can you click the microphone? Let's see. I'm going to ask you to unmute and let's see if it pops up on your screen.
Okay. Can you hear
Perfect.
me?
Yes.
No, I was thinking, right, if any way that you guys can provide us with that information that you have given us, it's been clear to me though, but is any way that you have any booklets that we can obtain, you know, to go through, you know, like a
So
daily
this presentation that Rachel has can be printed out with all the pictures that are in it. So you could show them exactly what it is, and it's going to be on the website. Do you want to show them one more time where that's going to be, Rachel? She'll show you where it's located on the website.
So again, on the district website, if you go to For Parents,
Uh-huh.
and then the parent you, and I know it's, hello. I know it's for the one that's for January 20th. Okay. I guess my computer is having a party.
So the only thing I have to do is go, because I know how to go there. I know how to get there. It's just to go ahead and print it.
I can actually share the whole presentation slide by slide with you. Sorry, I'm just waiting for it to load here so I can show once more. It is in yellow right here. That's the website. But I can go ahead, like I have, like these are the slides. So again, you could go ahead and go to File and then Print Settings and Preview.
Send it, yeah.
Slide.
Print.
If you want like 3 on a page or one whole one, however you want it to be, and we can go ahead and get all the parent engagement coordinators names from Linda and send it to all of you guys so that you have a copy.
All right. Is any way that I could obtain also that in Spanish? That it will be help other parents that they can speak.
Natalie and German and work on it.
Okay.
There are some pieces of this in Spanish, and I got it from one of the schools. I'm going to have to share that with you, Rachel.
Okay.
That one of the TESOLs put it all in Spanish, the directions, and I do have that.
I would like to have the website be, in English, and then click here if you want the Spanish version, and then they would just go,
Yeah, because I have talked to some Spanish parents and they can't, they can understand. So I would like to obtain that information for them. It would be easy for them.
Yeah, and as long as we have help, we would love to provide it too.
Okay, thank you much.
Anything else that you guys think of while you're working with parents and you're like, okay, this came up that they don't know how to do this, or, like somebody needs to sign up for Social Security, can you show us how to do those steps? I know that
you know me, I'm learning with you guys.
Yeah, I took a tour of the I'm sorry, what is that place that I toured? The Youngstown Innovation Center, is that what it's called?
Yes.
Okay. With Linda and a few of the parent engagement coordinators, where they're training them on different career paths. I don't know if you got to go on that. It was really cool, but we were going to include that in one of our sessions, like if they wanted to have someone in their family sign up for that, because they were saying you don't even need a high school diploma. You can just go ahead and sign up, and then as long as you work towards your GED while you're getting your training.
That was wonderful. Yeah, okay.
So,
all right.
But we want to hear from you guys because you're on the front lines.
I gave Rachel the link to how to sign up for ProgressBook in Spanish. German had already did all that. So if a parent needs to sign their child up to see their grades. So if you want to take that link that I just sent you and attach that in there and say, for Spanish for the ProgressBook. I don't know if you did that or Andrea did it.
Andrea did it.
Yeah, if you want to say for Spanish version, just click here. Then all the directions are already in Spanish. She already changed it for them. But that's not the only thing we have. We have a couple other ones too. I just have to go, and I just knew that German had already done that for me. So I searched his name and it was right there. But the other one, I have to remember which school it was and who did that for me. But he did how to use Google. He made little videos on how to use Google and all of that. And it's already out there in Spanish. So I will
All right, that would
find
be
that.
very helpful for them.